is up? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Back with some more Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways content for you. And today I'm going to be talking about the newest knife to join the club, the Elite Knife. I'm going to talk about, in my opinion, where I believe the Elite Knife stands and how it stands up against the other knives in the whole Resident Evil 4 main campaign. Now remember, as I said, this is my opinion. There's nothing about factual information here, but let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think and where it simply ranks. But before I get to the Elite Knife, let's do a little track back to the original three knives in the Resident Evil 4 main campaign. First we had the fighting knife, or as I like to call Krauser's knife. Now this one was definitely for the power. As I maxed out, you get 2 times the power. It's definitely the most powerful knife. I mean, you figure that with a guy like Krauser getting it in the whole setup and payoff to eventually earn this knife when you eventually defeat Krauser. So it's definitely got the power advantage. The next knife we had was, I always like to call Marvin's knife, but the combat knife. And now while this knife might not have the power, it has decent durability. It actually has the fastest attack speed, and this is actually, I think, my preferred knife personally from the main campaign, because I just like speed, but once again, that's a personal preference. I was more of a speed guy, because I think overall it gets good power with the fast speed. The last knife was the Primal knife. Now this knife has, alright power, alright attack speed, not nothing too fancy there, but its big thing is that when it's maxed out, it's indestructible, it cannot break. So yeah, so basically the thing about I like with the three knives here, and it's one reason why I just love the weapons so much in the whole main campaign of Resident Evil 4 as well as Separate Ways, is the fact that you have a variety. There's no really one thing that trumps everything. Like, it just depends on personal preference, what players want to play with, what they want to do. You have one knife that's for durability, one knife for speed, one knife for power. So once again, unfortunately, we got to pick on the poor village Ganados. Yeah, I give them credit, man. I mean, they get abused so much. They're going to be put on the Lifetime channel after this whole thing runs its course. But yeah, so let's just start with the first knife, the Krauser's knife. And as I said, it's not obviously the fastest with its speed. It's alright durability, but the thing is power. So obviously, fighting a normal Ganado, it's going to down them really quickly. And also to understand, it's not like I go up to the Ganados and attack them, especially in a group like this. This helps out with this whole ladder thing. But the whole knife with Krauser is definitely something. I can see a lot of people choosing Krauser's knife overall in the main campaign because it's just the power. And obviously the whole setup and earning it. The power's there. You can really kill enemies, especially the normal Ganados, in a few hits. It's definitely powerful if you have the QTEs where you can... like a Garrador where you're stabbing them back with the knife, especially if you have like some of the charms on that can help it out as well. But Krauser's knife is definitely a powerhouse. But let's switch over to Marvin's knife. As I said, this was my personal favorite. It's just the speed of it. You can definitely tell when you get a Ganado and if they get unstuck down here. Yeah, I've been in this ladder so many times, they just get stuck and they can't even get up here. But yeah, you definitely see the speed there. As I said, it's all right durability and attack power, but its speed is where it's at, because my whole theory was if you're attacking it faster over time, I think it's going to outpace the damage. That's just my whole concept there, but it's so fast, it's just like, I'll take the less damage and less durability just for the speed. But let's just say you're in a situation where you're going to be using the knife a lot, then you might want to go over with the indestructibility option, and that, you can always be using it. You can be stealth assassinating from behind. So to me, my point being is that you have options, and that's what I love about the Resident Evil 4 weapons. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be foolish here and fight Chainsaw Maniac up here with just the knives, but you have options. You have the ability to have different mindsets in place. I just love the fact it's not like there's a one that dominates the whole thing. Like, you have options. You can change on the fly. If you want the power, you want the speed, you want the indestructibility, you're all there. But what happens if, for instance, you have a situation where something kind of combines all of that together into one package? And you'd probably think, well, damn, that's got to be quite an impressive package there. And that is where we get to the latest knife to enter this whole thing, and that is in the Separate Ways campaign, and that would be none other than the Elite Knife. So let's check this out right here. The Elite Knife, in terms of power, it's the second highest power because it's a 2 times perk in terms of its power when you max it out. It has the second fastest attack speed, so it's got nice attack speed as well. But it also is indestructible. So if you do the whole main three things I talk about, the power, the speed, and the durability, it's number 2 in power, it's number 2 in speed, and it's number tied for 1 in indestructibility. It's just like, well, damn, like all in one. And it seems like if you had to do like a whole chart, then this is the one who would go to. By the way, I will say one thing: I'm not the biggest fan of the look of it, and my biggest reason why is just when I first look, I know it's not. It just kind of gives me that whole, pocket knife vibe. Like, not that it's like a real knife. I know it is. It's just. I think it's more just the handle. It gives me, obviously the blade's longer than the handle, but it gives me that instant. Like, I don't know if people think that way. This pocket knife, but that's just a visual thing. But yeah, like obviously being able to not break on top of that, because that's the thing with the primal knife. When that's a knife that can't break. Yeah, you had it can't break, but it didn't really have the other two factors with it. It was kind of low in both of it. Its biggest thing was, it couldn't break. But when you have a knife that also can't break, but also has the other factors pretty strong too, it just makes you feel like, hey, does that possibly make that knife obsolete? And no, I don't think it makes it obsolete, because one big thing to account for is that, and I think this is my theory why this knife can do all this stuff, this is only available in separate ways. So if this knife was available in the main campaign, then I guess I could understand people thinking like, yeah, it makes the primal knife obsolete. But overall, I think because it is only available in separate ways, it is the main knife in separate ways, it's why the knives come out a little bit better here. So overall, if you had to compare them to the other three knives, I think it ranks relatively strong. I still am probably more of a speed person myself, so I'd still have to go with Marvin's knife. But then again, if I want to use it for a long time and not worry about having it get broke, this is probably the weapon I would go with. If it's just for a few things, like a few enemies, then I'd probably still go with Marvin's. But for the long haul, I definitely have to go with this knife. But that is my opinion. I want to hear your guys' opinion. What do you feel about this knife? How do you think it ranks amongst the other knives? And what is your overall favorite knife now that this one has joined the fray? Do you think this knife was just made a little bit more powerful and having all these stats pretty high just because it is the only knife in this mode? Because overall, I just feel like there's not really a bad knife. I think all of them, you can use them depending on the situation and personal preference. I've enjoyed them all. But that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully I can see you guys back for the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you all later. Peace.